Greetings and welcome to the 31st episode of Retro Rant, in which we will be reviewing Myth History in the Making. This is an arcade adventure, originally released for the C64 in 1989 by System 3 and ported to the Amiga in 1992 but with a different protagonist. The game also got Amstrad CPC and ZX Spectrum ports, as well as an NES port with an interesting Conan skin. There was also an Atari ST port in the works, but unfortunately it never materialized. Myth was not a game I had back in the day, and I think I didn't even know it existed until a couple of years back in various YouTube videos that were invariably exalting it, so I got curious. And I had a chance to give it a go in yet another English Amiga board competition, so let's see what I think of it. In this game we play as a fighter who uses Stonehenge to travel through various time periods to fight the forces of evil. Now, I don't know why you would use time travel for that and not buying some bitcoins, but to each his own. He could also choose to travel further back when the forces of evil were still unborn and make sure they never come to be. But this fighter bloke doesn't seem to be the intelligent guy, he's just the me won't fight evil type, so we cannot but love him for that. The graphics of this game are quite good if a bit dark. Nice, big sprites, different locations and nice graphic effects make for some competent visuals here. The animation is not as good though, with a lot of frames missing. The sound is nothing special since there is no in-game music, and the title music tries to sound epic but ends up sounding like a cat walking on a Casio synthesizer with a male chorus sound. The sound effects are quite beefy and nice though, and there is also some digitized speech. Unfortunately, the game has some of the worst controls that I have ever encountered in the history of action gaming. I think I have only seen such levels of slow, clunky and unresponsive controls in Frontier Elite on a stock Amiga 500. Really, you perform a move, check your email, drink some coffee, and only then do you see the fighter react. I would hate to see what this game would play like in a setup with serious input lag issues. Maybe you can use an agenda or something to note when you will see your attacks actually happening. Swapping weapons is also super clunky, requiring to reach for the spacebar and taking ages to reach the weapon you actually want, while the buddies have ganged up on you and you have lost a hit point or two, as well as some of your patience. The jump mechanics are also very bad, and combined with the platforming action that this game requires and quite a few blind jumps where you don't know what's below you, you end up with a game that is an absolute dog to control. But even worse than the arthritic controls is the laughable gameplay. There are some hints about the puzzles in the game's manual, but even if you have a PhD in mythology, you are going to be solving this game's puzzles through luck, trial and error, or via a walkthrough. I like arcade adventure games very much, and I found that this one is a poorly designed stinker in the making. Let me give you an example, as this game doesn't even deserve the spoiler-free treatment. In the second level, you have to figure out that you must attack the heel of a statue, the Achilles heel, duh, so that you can get a shield, which is crucial for the next level. It is very difficult to discern that the statue can be interacted with, as you cannot understand if you hurt it or not, because you're being swarmed by baddies, and of course the awful controls don't help much. But anyway, let's suppose you don't figure out this puzzle and you proceed to the next stage. It is game over, because you don't have the shield and you can't go back, so fantastic game design there, System 3. Personally, I can forgive only a few of such things in a game before I stop caring and delete it. And guess what? Myth is comprised only of such puzzles, at least until the Viking level, where I decided I have had enough of this thing. But maybe a good storyline can save a bad arcade adventure game, right? Right. Yet, Myth has no storyline or depth at all, so you don't care about the hero or his adventures, and the only thing that drives you on is what the graphics on the next level will look like. At least the game has some good atmosphere, but without a nice story, even this atmosphere goes to waste. But Gods also had a laughable storyline, yet it ended up being a great game because of the nice exploration, the clever design, and the gazillion secrets, which rewarded investing time in it. But Myth has none of these things. The levels are tiny, so the possibility of exploration is wasted. The game is childishly linear and there are absolutely no secrets, so I find Chrono Quest and Seconds Out infinitely more replayable than this one. So would I recommend Myth? Well, you might be into mythology and be deceived and lured by the graphics, but it is actually a bad game. It has rubbish puzzle design and abysmal controls. I cannot believe this thing has a rating of almost 8 out of 10 in the Lemon Amiga website. I think that is why Amiga games are so often a laughingstock, because Amigans are blinded by the good visuals and cannot discern if a game is crap or not. I think the CPC version was different from the C64 and Amiga versions, and that can only be a good thing, so I might be giving this a try someday if I feel masochistic enough. So that's it for now, and I'll see you next time!